I'm whispering because my kids are asleep, but I still need to remind you about Hack City Comedy. And this is the only time late at night when I can tell you about it, because now they're in bed and they're like right next door. But I have to tell you about Hack City. It's happening April 11th at Union Hall in Brooklyn. Doors are at 7. Show starts right at 7:30, so don't be late. Tickets available in the episode description at asian.asianpod.com, or just Google Hack City Comedy. I promise it's going to be way louder and more fun than this pre-roll ad. I'll be there. Jenny will be there. It's going to be great. Okay, on with the show.
But this now connects to my next point, which is my actual life update.
Okay.
I have begun the process of freezing my eggs. So this is actually the opposite direction of hot. I feel it trying to get hot.
Okay. This is good. We can talk about, the when do millennials get old. Okay, this is the episode. This is the Redacted, Not Redacted podcast. The podcast with all your favorite redacted friends.
Yes.
I am. What did I call myself?
I know my name. I'm Dame Maggie Smith.
I think I'm
Walter Dalton.
Yeah. John Dalton.
John Dalton. Yeah, something like that. You had a couple names for yourself.
Isn't that the name of those like one of those bookstores? There was like Crown Books, there was Borders, and then there was another one. Wasn't it called Dalton?
I have no idea. I thought it was going to be a superhero, superhero, like action figure, like his name.
Yes.
When he's a normal guy.
Right. Bruce Banner.
Yeah.
Yes.
John Dalton.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it's John Dalton, and this is a special pod. There's no video on this one because we're recording in my car, but we're doing it like late-ish.
Yes, late-ish at night.
Not super late.
This is truly, if you walk by us, this is the shadiest thing we could be doing.
There's a dude walking by
us
now,
with his dog. We have our microphones to our face. I did roll up the window because I was so ashamed at what we're doing.
It looks like we're on stakeout, but we're going to document the whole thing.
Yeah.
NPR
style. Yeah, it's like we're NPR journalists right now.
Yes. We're like, what would the story be about? You know, it'd be about just like parking regulations.
Yeah, is so funny. I don't know. This is great.
This is embarrassing, but thank you so much for agreeing to do it during these circumstances.
Yeah, I'm happy to. You came to me.
Okay.
We're on my street.
That's what's great about this too, is that it's almost like on-demand podcasting.
It is.
Do you feel like podcasting?
This is the most convenient podcasting has been for me.
You are like in your lounge clothes.
I'm fully close to my pajamas right now.
We had that conversation that you were in your lounge clothes. Yes, so we are in my car. It is a beautiful night in Brooklyn.
Yes.
And very quickly, some things up top. Don't forget about our stand-up comedy show. The next one, I have it handy right here, is going to be April 11th. It's at Union Hall in Brooklyn. Just Google Hack City Comedy. Check out asian.asianpod.com or go to the episode description, and you'll be able to find links for that. Will you be at that one? The April one?
I think so.
Okay, cool. That'd be great.
That one will be dependent on what I'm going to talk about.
Fair.
Later.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Also, April 11th, while we're here, is I wanted to plug this just very quickly. Is here we go. Hold on here. Is Dr. Jason Leong. He's going to be having a show. Oh, hold on here. It's on the same day. Dang, should I plug this? I told him I would.
Okay,
listen. Hold on here. Okay. If you've been to Hack City before, at least twice, you can go to see Dr. Jason Leong. He is at Gramercy Theater, also April 11th. It's exactly the same time. It's hilarious. So you can check him out Friday, April 11th at the Gramercy Theater in New York City. If you haven't been to Hack City though, or you haven't been in a long time, come hang out with us.
Come hang out.
So I bet you the ticket prices are almost exactly the same. Swear to God. So that's going to be happening very quickly. We're going to give some shout outs to some people on Patreon who've been super nice to us. Thank you again to all of our Patreon supporters. You guys are the real ones here. You guys are part of the resistance.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Part of the John Dalton, Dame Maggie Smith resistance. We need a better name than that.
Yeah, we're not really resisting much if we're just fully succumbing and changing our names and identities. So I'll say that.
This is how much resisting we're doing. We're in our loungewear recording the podcast. We couldn't even change. But again, if you contribute to the Patreon, we'll give you a shout out. So we got a couple new folks here. We got Jay Fallen. Jay Fallen.
Fallen, like Fallen.
Mm-hmm, like I've fallen and I can't get up. Jay Fallen.
That's is a video game character.
Is it really? Oh, okay.
No, I'm making it up.
Oh, okay. No, I was going to say, it does sound like that.
It sounds like an anti-hero. It's like a guy who down on his luck. He used to save lives, but then he got addicted to ether, and now he's coming. He's kicked his addiction and he's proven himself again. But he's a middle-aged guy.
But can he win back the love of his wife and children
and the city of New York?
Only one.
He's a vigilante.
He needs to clean up these streets.
Himself.
But can he make it home in time for dinner? Jay Fallen.
That's Jay Fallen.
That's a sick ass name, dude.
Yeah.
All right, the other one here we have. I gotta click on it. Is Melanie Palacios.
Palacios? Oh, wow.
What a beautiful name.
Oh, also, it's Melanie, I think.
Melanie?
Melanie? Not like...
I think, this could be just one of those Jacqueline situations. Is it Melanie or is it Melanie? Melanie.
Beautiful name.
It's a great name.
Yeah.
Okay. Can we fit this person into Jay Fallon's video game?
She's the mayor.
And
she's like, Jay Fallen, we do not have a place for you. You have let the city down before. You were kicked out of the force 10 years ago. Business.
Last time we gave you this badge, it cost the city $250,000, and that was just a hot dog stand.
Yeah. Exactly.
Damn, Mayor Palacios does not fuck around.
No, thank you, Mayor.
Yeah, thank you so much, and thank you to our Patreon subscribers. Patreon, again, is the best way to support the podcast. Also, I'm going to announce it right now. If you support the Patreon, I'm starting to bring back perks. One of the perks you get is that we put up the hosting set for Hack City.
Oh, that's fun.
So I've started recording them. We have a couple, and we're going to put them up.
Oh, that means I got to start being careful about what I say.
It depends.
Okay.
It depends. It's cool. It'll be chill.
Yeah. I mean, I guess Patreon folks are cool.
Folks are cool, and
they're not going to rat me out.
Yeah, please don't.
To the freaking feds.
Not to Mayor Palacio.
Yeah.
God. So that's a perk you get. You know, you get a little fun time with us, since we can't. Hack City can't be streamed live. The venue can't do the streaming, and so people have asked, hey, can we see it? The show. I can't put up the whole show, but I can put up the hosting set, and that's us. And there you go. That's one of the perks. So if you're on Patreon, a subscriber, that's one of the perks you get. And so that's patreon.com/AsianNotAsianPod. Okay. We're going to do we got a couple things. Mm-hmm. We do have an overarching thought that I had while I was driving over here. I'm such a podcasting dork that the way I warmed up for this on the drive up here, listened to another podcast where I was on it.
Really?
Yeah, it's the Blunderbuss. Shouts to Vic and Art Kai and Vic Tran. And they have a little comedy podcast, and they were nice enough to have me on there, and I was listening to myself.
Nice.
It was kind of fun.
I know. I listen to these episodes.
Do you?
Yeah.
I listen to some of them. Sometimes I'm like, this Mike Nguyen. Get out of here. But I do have an overarching theme, which is, when did millennials get so old? When did us millennials? What happened to us?
I mean, first of all, the pandemic started 5 years ago.
Okay.
Does that give you a sense? You have 2 children.
What happened?
In that period of time, you had 2 children.
That is crazy.
That's like time.
That is. The other day I saw something, and it was like, I don't know. I was watching some movie and I looked up like, oh, when did this come out? And it said 2019. I was like, oh shit, that just came out.
That's how I think.
Oh shit.
I just realized a couple days ago was my 7-year anniversary in New York.
Well, what?
And I still feel, I think in my brain, I'm like, well, I just moved here.
Well, I feel we just met, didn't we?
I know.
Just meet?
It feels like we just met, but it's not true. I've been on this podcast for how long now?
Holy
3
shit.
years?
Is it possible you've always been on this podcast?
I know.
That's crazy.
I do give off an eternal presence kind of vibe, you know?
Is it going to be one of those things? Like the Overlook Hotel. I'm gonna look at old pictures of I don't know, my grandparents.
Yeah.
And then
I'm in the background.
You're in the back. You're the bartender.
Yeah, I'm like smiling with my thumbs up.
That's Abigail Aramoto.
Yeah.
Holy
That's me.
shit. Yeah, and damn, I mean, you could just be Asian and just how old you look.
That is true.
You know,
I'm kind of timeless and then I'm Asian. I am just a Japanese woman.
You're 180 years old. Yeah. Well, that's the overarching thing. From some quick updates first. You have an quick update you wanted to do?
Well, I have a fun quick update, which I mentioned to you just offhandedly, and then I have an actual life update.
Okay, cool. Give me with the fun
The fun update is that it's warm now, you guys. Like,
so warm.
What is hitting the 60s for the first time in 4 months. Like, it's just been forever since I've felt 60 degrees on my body in New York.
Yep.
And I'm going to say it. I need to get hot now.
Oh, yes.
It all of a sudden hit me yesterday where I'm like, what have I been doing? Eating pasta every day in my sweatpants, not leaving my apartment. It's time.
Can I tell you that it is not it is not springtime until Jenny tells me it's time to get hot, Mike. You're my gopher. You're my little groundhog. Excuse me.
Exactly. It's true. It's me. It's my mad rush to get a haircut and like do my eyebrows.
Yes.
That's how you know it's spring.
Yes. So have you been doing things to get hot? I feel you've been running and exercising a lot.
So yesterday I was like, I was out late for a writing meeting and I still was like, I'm gonna have to work out today. So I took a 7 a.m. yoga class.
Wow. And
I cooked like healthy meals throughout the day.
Okay.
I worked from home when I shouldn't have.
Oh.
And I am just in like let's get hot mode.
All right.
And once again, this started yesterday.
It's interesting you want to get hot because you're cuffed. Is cuffed up? I don't know what the word is.
Yeah, that doesn't matter.
Okay.
It's not about that. It's about me feeling really good. And being ready to like wear clothes I want to wear, you know?
What kind of clothes do you want to wear?
That's a great question.
But yeah.
I'm figuring it out. Fashion right now is kooky, crazy, I feel like. I'm not particularly inspired by like things that I'm seeing come out, you know? But aspirationally, every time the season changes, I'm like, well, I guess my wardrobe is going to be incredible. Like, I like feel like I need to become a new person.
Yes.
And so I think that's where I'm at, where I'm like, I just like can't wait to like show my arms.
Yeah.
And show my calves and my ankles again.
Okay.
When it's warmer, and I'm like, but I want to feel hot while I do it.
So are you doing any? Okay, so are you doing any like specific exercises to target those areas?
Oh no. Well, I'm gonna start training for my half marathon soon.
Okay.
That is a built-in timeline for me. But this now connects to my next point, which is my actual life update.
Okay.
I have begun the process of freezing my eggs. So this is actually the opposite direction of hot. I feel trying to get hot.
Okay. This is good. We can talk about, you know, the when did millennials get old? Because I know a lot of folks who are doing that, getting freezing egg thing, or starting the IVF cycle. There's another comedian, I won't say who asked me at a show, was like, hey Mike, I'm thinking about doing freezing the eggs, and if you had any thoughts or whatever, and when did you and your wife, start this? And she's like I don't think she's 30, and it and I'll tell you who it is later, but when she told me, I looked at her and I was like, you are a baby. I mean, I understand you should be thinking about this, but like it put everything into contrast for myself.
Totally.
About time and everything like that, because I feel I've known her since she was a toddler.
Yeah.
So anyways, continue.
So no, I haven't started, but I have my first appointment and I have like a schedule.
Wow.
And so
is this covered?
It's covered, which is part of the reason why I was like, part of the reason I went back to tech the previous time I went back was truly for this benefit.
Wow.
I was like, I want to do this. but I want it to be covered.
Yep.
But then I got laid off promptly after I started.
Oh.
Because I was like, I can't immediately use that benefit
No.
coming back. And now this time I'm like, I'm going to use it. I'm just getting older, and I now know I'm like, I don't owe a company anything. I don't need to like prove myself to like use its benefits. So yeah. And the other part is, it's the thing that we just talked about. I also thought for a long time, I have time. You know what I mean? Because in my head, I'm internally 28.
Yes. It's
It's now bumped up to eternally 30.
What? When did that happen?
I know. That's also scary. That's why I know I'm aging. But I was, I never felt like in a rush. And I don't feel in a rush now, but it's now reaching the point where I'm like, oh, it's better to do it sooner rather than later. Like I'm reaching a point where like every year there's like a change.
Yeah.
Or in like, the impact is different. So that's what the story of this. I don't know how much I'll actually talk about the journey, but this is also tied to me maybe being at Hack City, because it will depend on where I'm at in the process and how hormonal I am. Because if I'm feeling it and I'm like breaking into tears, I probably don't want to be hosting Hack City.
Listen, if you need help with the injections, we can do it backstage in the green room.
Yeah.
I have a lot of experience
or
doing
we
it.
Use that as a way to do audience interaction.
Yo, who wants to inject Jenny?
You get a drink ticket and you get to inject me.
Who wants to give her the trigger one?
Yeah.
She's so this next comedian is so ovulating. It's going to be so many eggs and jokes.
You know her from UCB and ovulating a lot right now.
You thought the vibes... There's something about this room, right? Well, you know why. It's the ovulation. She's ovulating that much. The vibes are changing.
The vibes are wacky.
The vibes are wacky.
Yeah, but vibes are wacky right now. But yeah, that's my life update. Once again, like, not much of an update other than I'm going to start.
Yes.
But I'm going to try to be open about talking about it.
I
at least the emotional side of it.
I love that. And I think it's awesome. And I think, more and more people I know are talking about it and going through the cycle. And I feel even when, Gina and I just forgot for a second that I have children. And I was like, oh yeah, this is what we did. But when we did it, I don't want to say it was like unusual or anything like that.
Yeah.
But, we didn't know too many people who did it. And, the generation before us, like my parents, obviously this was, it was like much newer technology. It was way less accessible. I mean, it is inaccessible for a lot of people still, but it's a little bit more accessible. Insurance covers it more. And I think, just like lifestyle wise, I think more and more people are thinking about, okay, this is part of the plan now. Like I'm going to freeze my eggs.
Yeah.
I'm not married yet. People don't, I didn't get married until I was 35 or so. And I think that's a typical age for people to get married.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're not going directly into having kids, right away.
Yeah.
You're living your life.
Yeah.
And so this is just one of those things. It's like
just more normalized.
Yeah, more normalized.
Yeah.
So
it's just
like
cool. Also people around me are doing it, so it doesn't feel like a scary thing.
Yes.
It just feels like a thing that we're all doing.
Yeah. And I think, you guys should have little ovulation parties and
we already do that.
You're just not part of them,
yeah,
obviously.
you're just not invited.
Right.
You're not on the partyful. We're doing our own partyfuls over here. But yeah, so that's my update, but you're right, we are getting older.
Yeah.
We are like, I don't know, we're just like we're aging.
Yes.
Okay, do you want to talk about the reason why we were thinking about how we're getting older?
Oh, you mean the show?
Yeah, because both of us are randomly watching the same show right now.
Well, hold on here. So the reason why the reason why it like kind of came to the forefront for me was I went and did a show at a bar near where I live. And the two comedians who run it, Mary and Janet, are they, we were doing the show, and it's like a small bar show. It's like a lot of fun, and we were doing it, and they go up there, they duo host it as well. And so they go up there, and I think Mary is the one who said, we've been doing this show for 10 years.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, holy fucking shit.
Yeah.
Because I've done that show many times.
Yeah.
I did it probably, the first, 6 months that they had started doing it.
Uh-huh.
So, and I've known them
For longer.
for longer than they've been doing the show.
Right.
So that means like I've been doing comedy for however long, and I've known them for even longer. Janet has a kid with her partner, right? And Mary is pregnant with her kid. And I was sitting there, and then Mary's partner, Pedro Salinas, who's super funny. He goes up there and he starts talking to the audience, and he says, "Okay, like, is everybody here millennial or Gen Z?" And everybody was Gen Z.
Oh, wow.
And then we were all sitting in the back, me and the other comics, and we're like, what? It's this show's been going on for 10 years. We're all parents or about to be parents.
Yeah.
We're now talking to all these Gen Z people.
Yeah.
And when this show started, the show is called Comedians with Tits. That's
Yeah.
the name of the show.
Yeah.
It's like this funny, irreverent show. It's got two, female comics as the hosts. It's wacky. It's crazy. It's you never know what's going to happen. And now, I don't know how, we are now like the elder statesmen, and all of our comedy sets it felt more kind of like less like comedy and more like a scared straight situation, where, hey, don't end up like us, stay in school, kids.
Yeah.
It felt like that. And it just like brought everything to relief of like, I have kids, all these comics have kids or are on their way. We've been doing comedy for so long. We have this show. Our audience somehow has, I guess, died. And like now all these Gen Z kids are here. And I'm like,
Our audience, all our parents now.
it's so wild,
So they're not going to shows.
It's so, and again, it felt like a light switch, because this show for the longest time was the funny, wacky show for all the millennials, and like sometimes we would have the quote unquote older folks come in, not old, but we would be we're the crazy kids.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, it feels like night and day, where all of us, we're now the older folks talking to the younger, crowd.
Yeah.
And like, it just like,
How does it feel?
It feels so fucking weird. It's so, and it's so much of it, you brought it up before, has to do with the pandemic. Like, it just like that completely like changed
Completely.
the time.
I think about the fact that I moved here in 2018, and then I started doing UCB stuff. Like, I got onto a team by 2019, right?
Yes.
So like my turnaround time was very quick.
Yeah.
At that time, I was in my late 20s, and so I did that for a year.
Yeah.
And then the world shut down.
Yes.
So I think about the timeline where the COVID didn't happen.
Yes.
I, at this point, would be 6 years into my UCB career. I would have done UCB and live, that format of regular live comedy, for 6 years. Now we're at the point where, in reality, I've only been doing it for 2 to 3 years. 3 years. Because the pandemic wiped out the theater, we had to rebuild the theater,
You had to
and I
restart
started
over,
redoing it again last year.
Okay, shh. So, as I was saying earlier, I have to be quiet because my kids are asleep and I need to be as quiet as possible. You see, having kids is a huge factor in my life, and probably one of the many internal things that might be contributing to my hair thinning. That's why I use Nutrafol, because Nutrafol is the #1 dermatologist recommended hair growth supplement brand, trusted by over 1.5 million people. See thicker, stronger, faster growing hair with less shedding in just 3 to 6 months with Nutrafol. Thinning hair is different for men and women, so a one-size-fits-all approach to hair growth doesn't cut it. Nutrafol has multiple formulas for men and women that are tailored to different life stages, such as postpartum or menopause, and lifestyle factors, such as a plant-based lifestyle or having a lot of kids, so you can get just what you need. Physician formulated with 100% drug-free ingredients, Nutrafol supports healthy hair growth from within by targeting key root causes of thinning: stress, hormones, aging, nutrition, lifestyle, and metabolism through whole body health. Start your hair growth journey with Nutrafol. For a limited time, Nutrafol is offering our listeners $10 off your first month subscription and free shipping when you go to Nutrafol.com and enter the promo code ASIAN. Find out why over 4,500 healthcare professionals and stylists recommend Nutrafol for healthier hair. Nutrafol.com, spelled Nutrafol.com. Promo code ASIAN. That's Nutrafol.com, promo code Asian.
Well, speaking of like wiping out, it restarted the scene.
Yeah.
So all those people you would have come up with, like a lot of them went away.
Yeah,
like
they
moved
moved
away. They became parents or whatever.
Exactly.
And like a new crop of folks came, or several crops of folks really.
There's no world at this age I would still be doing it if there was no shutdown. Because I wouldn't have. It's just like a lot of work to be doing this for 6 years. But it's like, why am I keep doing it at this point in my life? It's because I missed those 3 years. So I'm like, okay, well, I still have the like desire to kind of try. But yeah, I think about that all the time. It did change it changed our timelines.
It's so crazy, and I know people say it, and I know physically it is 2025, in the space-time continuum.
But mentally,
it's
2021.
And again, to jump into the show that was the kooky show, and it be like the sort of, it was still kooky. We're still kooky people, but now we're kooky parents, and we're kooky people who with early bedtimes.
Yeah, we're kooky people with 401ks, and we're not joking about that anymore.
No,
we're like legitimately.
That's not 401ks are not something to joke about. Everybody,
it's for real now.
Start doing it. Get in there.
I'm being so for real about
Dude,
this 401k.
Guys, all right, it's all about tax deferred investments.
Yeah.
No, what was the? Yes, so the other thing that kind of it's been top of mind is because I guess you and I have been watching.
Yes.
This is your second run through.
Yes, I've seen it all.
So the show, there's a TV show called Younger. Shut up.
It made me laugh so hard when Mike brought this up off mic, because I was like, wait, first of all, I was watching it right now before when I was putting my sheets on my bed. And but it's because it's on Netflix now. That's why we're all watching it.
Okay. I feel better because first of all, I started watching it, and then like several people I've been talking to, comics and otherwise, have been, I've been watching Younger and stuff like that.
By the way, I watched it real time.
You watched it as it came.
Yes. So it's been a while since I've actually watched it.
So hold on here. Hold on. So for people who don't know what this show is, it is a show where a woman who is, I think she's supposed to be
Sutton Foster,
who's great.
So, well, great, except for I think she cheated on her husband with Hugh Jackman.
Okay.
But as a talent,
actor.
yes.
a great talent. This person, the character, is I think 40 when the show starts. Supposed to be like 40.
Divorced or going through a divorce.
Going through a divorce, has a kid who's like 18, and suddenly has to kind of start their life over again. And they had originally paused their career in order to have this kid and raise this kid, and et cetera, et cetera. And now finds that she has to do it all over. But her thing is that she tells everyone that she's a millennial. And so she passes herself off as like 25. 26.
Right? 25, 26.
25,
like
26. And I found that to be a little relatable because I kind of did that when I moved here.
You did a Younger?
I did.
You did a Younger? I just need to also make it clear for people who haven't seen the show. It was a TV Land show.
Right.
So the quality is not great. Like, it's very like poppy, fake. It's by Darren Star.
But they shoot it on location.
No, I totally. And I remember my friend used to see them filming.
Oh.
Because she works in that area, so they'll like be in random buildings shooting these office scenes. But if you watch it, it's like poppy, not grounded. It knows what it is. It's like candy. It's like nothing of substance.
Yes.
By the way, Hilary Duff at this point is the young person in the show.
Right.
So like Sutton Foster is the old person in the show trying to be young like Hilary Duff.
Right.
So this gives you a sense of timeline as well.
Yes, and just to kind of put a line underneath it, it is a candy show.
Yeah.
It is when you're done with it, you didn't grow as a person.
Right. You don't learn anything.
You don't learn anything.
No.
You feel full but also like sleepy.
Yeah.
This is how the show went for me. I watched like season 1 and 2. There's like so many seasons.
Yeah.
There's like 8 seasons or something. I watched season 1 and 2, and then Gina kept watching it. I was away. Maybe I'd do comedy or something. I missed like several nights of her watching it. I come back and she's at season 5, and I just walked right back into. I missed nothing. I know exactly what's
There's
happening
no
still.
character development.
None.
Yeah.
It's all, and they don't get rid of any of the characters.
No, they're all in the world.
They should be, if this is real life, you're getting rid of ex-boyfriends, you're meeting new people. No.
No.
It's all the same people making the same mistakes over and over again.
Yes.
For so long.
Yeah, it's such garbage. I love it. It's so good. It's addictive.
It's so addictive.
But the point of the show is that like it's like the way we talk about Gen Z now. It's like, what are these millennials like Twitter hashtags? Like it's very Obama era young people energy. And you watch it now and you're like, God, this is vintage.
It's okay. So that's what I wanted to also bring up. Is it? I watch it, and the first season, they're doing all these things. Yeah, they're saying hashtag a lot.
Yeah, they say hashtag
They're talking
a lot.
about Williamsburg. They're
Williamsburg. They're like, it's like getting to be hipster.
Yeah.
It's like that part of the conversation. Yeah.
The guy, the hot young guy.
Yeah.
He's wearing like really skinny jeans and like a scoop neck t-shirts.
Yeah.
And has like he doesn't have a man bun. It would be really on point if he did, but he has like the high fade, kind of with the long hair. And I was watching it, and I guess the first season came out 2015 or so.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, is this what we were? Is this what I was when I was, because I feel by 2015 I had quote unquote moved on to something else.
Yeah.
But maybe not.
I know.
And I
know that at that time I even thought it was a little lame. The show.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? So I had an awareness that that's not what we were.
Okay.
But at the same time, what I'm taking away from it is there is an optimism that is different than Gen Z people that are the same age now. Does that make sense? There's like a millennial thing of like caring a lot and wanting to be like, I don't know, like having an impact or whatever it is.
Yeah.
That is very millennial positive, like we can change the world if we work together one hashtag at a time energy that is like very opposite Gen Z.
Yes, it is.
It's like this apathy that sometimes that I see, not like that all of Gen Z is apathetic, but like it's almost like this, like it's cringe to care too much, like you should really you know what I mean, like everything's cringe energy is like very different than the millennial energy of like you just gotta put yourself out there and like you know what I mean, and like just be optimistic. A very Obama era optimism.
It's very yes, absolutely. It is the era of bacon on everything.
Yeah.
And that like old timey mustache as a tattoo.
Yes.
And there is something about it where it's like it's quote unquote political, but with like almost no stakes.
No. Which
actually, if you kind of think about it, back in the day, was an enormous privilege for us.
100%.
I remember when they passed legalized gay marriage.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that.
And it was like at the time, everybody was. It felt to me like, yes, of course.
Yeah, I know.
This is definitely going to happen.
Yeah,
it just seems natural.
Yeah,
and all the all these companies like had these hashtags and came out with like content and
and like
stuff
like
on.
Body positivity was big.
Yes. And now it's like, oh, are you a real one? Because now saying that actually is dangerous.
Yeah.
Like having support for that, and
or there's a reverse side, which is like, oh, you think you're doing something because you put. Do you know what I mean? It's like the cynicism of the fact that did nothing.
Yes.
It's like, oh, okay, so a bunch of companies did stuff like, is that real change? Like it kind of like got to the point where it circled back to like, that's actually nothing.
Yes. Yeah. No, yeah, there is we like millennials, and in this show it kind of like revels in its mediocrity.
Yeah.
And there is again this sense that when I was watching it, I was like, were we this bad? I always think about this too, since I'm like a menswear guy. I've been like fully Gen Z pilled, and like I can't look at skinny jeans anymore. Like the other day,
like you throw up in the street if you see someone, you're like, what?
Yeah, like I was like, everybody wears bag, like these kinds of pants, and you can definitely tell who all the millennial dads are.
Yeah.
Their pants are like super duper tight.
Yeah.
And they all wear kind of like, I don't know, shirt, like button up shirts that are too short and snug. You know, there's just too much snugness going on. And like we didn't change it even though our bodies changed because now we all have like big flabby bodies.
Yeah.
Anyways, so like it was watching the show, every time I watch it, it's like that it's like that that comedy nights that I was just telling you about, where I suddenly like I'm brought back to the past and forced to like reckon with like this gap in time in my mind.
Yeah.
You know?
I know what you mean.
And I can't tell again, is it dated feeling because it is dated, or is it dated feeling because kind of on purpose, you know?
Yeah.
You ever watch I don't know if you watched Saved by the Bell. Did you? Are you way too young for that?
I've watched reruns of it, but I did not watch it regularly.
So I watched it even when it was like coming out, and I was like a little kid.
Yeah.
And even as a little kid, I was like, was this filmed 20 years ago?
Yeah.
Like it's always felt old, and I realize now looking back that they kind of did that on purpose. Like it's kind of schmaltzy.
Yeah.
Anyways, so I was like, is this what the show is? Is it like purposefully like kind of almost saccharine?
Well, do you know what I think it is? I think it's that Gen X people were writing millennials. It's just like when millennials write Gen Z, it's not real. It's like a version of it that's like poppy and over the top and not real.
Right.
So like that version of New York that they were painting was from them probably like watching people in the cafes and being like, that's what I think millennials sound like. But I think that's what it is. So I actually don't think it is real. I think it's like a cartoon version of it in this way of like, it's like someone being like, millennials are always saying hashtag. Meanwhile, I never said hashtag. I was not walking around being like, hashtag that. Do you know what I mean? But that's how they write millennials. I think it's like not fully real. It feels vintage because it's like a fake version of us.
Right.
Yeah.
No, okay, that makes a lot of sense. Now that did Darren Star, the executive producer, is he the one who is responsible for Emily in Paris as well?
I feel like that is him.
Is that the same person?
If you watch Emily in Paris, it's the same feeling. You're like, there's no one real person that's this age would never talk like this.
Yes. Okay. Fair. Okay. Yes, thank you.
Yeah. Anyways, but I do see themes underneath it that I am like, it is kind of what we were like in reality.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Like the way we approached work, the way we approached fun, like it was like very similar. It's just that like it wasn't exactly like this annoying.
Right, yeah. I do feel sometimes, and you know, this is just me becoming a grumpy old man, like people like take a lot of shots at millennials.
Yeah.
Which, A, we deserve it.
Yeah.
But B, at the same time, we went through a lot of also garbage, and we're still around taking a lot of garbage. And I personally, I don't know, I don't feel like that way to Gen Z people. Like I feel Gen Z people they get a bad rap in the media.
Totally.
You know, they're as complex as, you know, any other generation.
Yeah.
And they do have a kind of edge to them.
Yeah.
But it's not one that's like, it doesn't feel like mean-spirited as like other, I guess, generations. Like, I feel sometimes Gen X is like mean for no reason, and then like Gen Z feels like mean, but they had to grow up through a lot of nonsense.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know?
And also the youngest Gen Z are still very young.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So they're like not even fully formed yet as a generation.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I don't know, we'll see.
Yeah. So
but yeah, we're old now.
Damn. But we are in
okay, so you know what we have to do?
Yeah.
We have to write a younger, where it's us writing what we think Gen Z is like.
Yeah, everything is no cap.
Yeah, oh my God, no cap. Crash out. I'm crashing out right now.
Oh my God, are you crashing out? No cap, I'm crashing out. That's all they say.
It's like, I'm going to get on Blue Sky. Like, it's like the version now. Like, snap me, snap you. I guess that's kind of the same as when we were younger, just snapping each other.
Like, I wonder if people are like, in 5 years, they're going to watch like
Euphoria. And be like, was that really what we were like?
Did we do that many drugs?
And we're going to be like, you know, wise, and we're going to be like, listen to this episode. Trust us, we've gone through this with Younger. Younger was our Euphoria.
Younger was our Euphoria. At least theirs has artistic merit.
Yeah, not our garbage.
No,
it's
not
like
ours.
Emily in Paris and and Younger.
Yeah, thanks, Darren Star.
Yeah.
The voice of a generation. He's like 25 years older
Yeah.
than the youngest one of us. Yeah, just to even make it like even more close to home, one of the characters, Lauren, who's played by Molly Kate Bernard, lives in my neighborhood. Her kid goes to
Oh, really? The actual actor?
the actor. Yeah.
Okay.
I saw her once, and I told her I liked her outfit, and I didn't realize. I realized it was her, but then there was like a glitch in my mind where it was like, maybe it's not her.
Yeah.
And in the sentence, as I said, "Oh, I know you," I stopped in the middle and I go, "Oh, wait, never mind. I thought I knew who you were." And then like she's like, "Okay, bye," and we like crossed ways, and I was like, it was her, in my mind.
You said, "Never mind, I thought I knew you."
Something like that.
That's a wild sentence to whip
It was
out.
very stupid.
Incredible.
But her kid goes to the same daycare as my friend. So
Oh.
like, yeah, and they don't know each other, but
Right.
like, oh, their kids know each other. It's like it's
Wow.
wild. And so to just
That's also how you know.
yeah,
Yeah.
just to really ground.
Yeah.
I'm looking around, and I'm like, I was this annoying guy. I was like in the skinny jeans, and like the scoop neck T-shirt,
Uh-huh.
and I mean, I worked in social media, so I was definitely using hashtags.
Yeah.
You know, cringe.
I know, we're cringe. But I've known that since the beginning.
It's okay. I mean, now I'm like a dad, so like all that stuff doesn't matter
Yeah.
to me anymore. But it is eye opening.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. So I wonder how our fans feel. I feel our fans. We have a lot of millennial fans. I feel we're starting to get a couple I mean, the line for generations is kind of blurry.
Sure.
We got some younger folks come by.
That's nice.
I
I hope we're relatable.
I mean, I don't know.
I don't know. Sometimes I'm like, I have no idea if I'm being relatable. I just start monologuing,
I think
and I'm like,
people-
is that something?
No, I think people are very, very. They relate to you a lot.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
I try to explain myself well enough that you're like, even if you don't agree, I hope you see something you see in yourself.
You want to lose people? Talk about
Jiu-jitsu.
Shut up. No, talk about like esoteric Japanese denim like me, okay? And people will just stop following you like crazy.
100%.
The last thing I kind of wanted to touch upon was there's no other way to say it, the state of the world.
Yeah. It's funny because I think we started being like, let's not talk about the state of the world too
Yeah.
much. And then as we were prepping, it naturally became a conversation
way
about the
around
state
it.
of the world.
There's no way around it.
And we got to a topic where we're like, that's probably worth saying on the microphone.
Right now I'm freelancing and it's going okay. I am a little stressed out about making sure I have enough cash flow going, as the CFOs say, that I'm, cash positive or whatever it is. And I'm trying to stay focused. It's just like, as far as taking care of my kids, and this is a nice opportunity to spend time with my family. And I do realize that the really stressful thing, the thing that makes me feel most afraid isn't the day-to-day. It's like if I read too many headlines on Reddit.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing.
Mm-hmm. I've
agree. Noticed. Like
Yes.
if I go out with my family and I'm like hanging out and having a great day with them, we're going to the museum or whatever, or going to the grocery store, whatever it is, a little small stuff, but I'm not on my phone reading headlines.
Yeah.
I feel great.
Of course.
And if I start reading, not even a lot,
Yeah.
3 is enough.
Oh, yeah.
3 is all
100%.
I need.
I mean, just opening Reddit is enough to stress me out. The first thing I see is probably the worst thing you've ever seen in your life.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. But my response to that, when we were talking off mic,
Yes.
was the thing that I've been finding comfort in, and I was like, not to bring up our
Generational trauma? Yes.
but it's like, Mike, you are the descendant of people who survived the Vietnam War.
Yes.
I was like, isn't there something about that helps you be like, I can do this? And for me, I was like, I think about my grandparents surviving World War II. Once again, I'm not saying we were in the right, but I have, family both on the American and the Japanese side. So I have I have like stories from both sides. And, my grandma survived fire bombings in Tokyo,
Yes.
literally like catching on fire type of
Damn.
stuff. And I'm here now podcasting outside of my apartment.
with the
like,
Vietnamese dude.
with the Vietnamese guy, like who's married to a Korean woman. Like I just feel like there is so much stuff that our families have survived that are
Yes.
like physically very scary, harmful, and a lot of people really died during those times.
Oh yeah.
And that like is so dark, but it also reminds me that we come from like a lineage of survivors,
That's
like stories of survivors.
that is some real shit right there. That is some real shit right there, man. I mean, I was thinking the same thing. I was, spiraling because of reading the headlines, and I was like, you know what? Every generation has some real shit that they have to go through, and there's been some real shit. I mean, like, I'm not saying that the things we're going through right now aren't, terrifying and bad,
course,
and for some people it's
worse
than others.
much worse.
But the stories my grandpa used to tell me, and the stories that my mom has told me that is like, holy shit. I mean, though I think the reason why we might not be as connected is because my mom doesn't have a TikTok where she TikToked about fleeing the country or her family fleeing the country. And yeah, every generation has this thing they have to go through. Our children will go through things, and all you can do is continue to persist, and as you said, know that others before you have gone through it. They did it.
Yeah.
They did it even sometimes with obviously with, I think, less resources than we do. And they came here and they did it. And that shit is not, it just happened. Literally.
That's the other part. I'm like, yeah.
It just happened.
I'm like, oh, every generation, it just like happens.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that, I don't know, that gives me a little bit of like comfort.
Yeah, man.
Personally.
I mean, I think we, yeah, like if I need to pack up my family and leave, my parents did that.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I probably will be able to find another place with good Wi-Fi.
So you can still make reels at least.
This podcast will continue even if I have to flee the country.
Oh, yeah. We're like different time zones, still microphones out. We're like, and I'm just like, I gotta get hot. Like we're in the middle of a world war.
Yeah. All right, this is the Asian Not Asian podcast coming at you from Bunker 17.
Yeah. Anyways, I don't know if that's helpful or not, but that's how I've been framing things to give me ease because sometimes if I read too many headlines, I really do fall into an existential
For
hole
sure.
of like, what is the point of any of this when everything's being dismantled? I just think about all this stuff. Systemically, I feel very powerless. But when I leave that and go even farther out and just think about like really the big picture of how we're surviving here right now in Brooklyn, New York in 2025, it does give me hope.
I wouldn't go as far as to say hope, but I would say go far as say
comfort.
Yeah, it's like, it is something we're gonna have to go through, but others have done it before and found strength. So like that's us too. So I hope that's not too much of a bummer.
No, I feel like it's not a bummer. I will say what's a bummer note is I keep seeing that one Asian guy on Doge, and I'm like, oh god.
Oh man.
Yeah, I don't even know. And there's probably multiple, but there was like two kids in like a photo in the news and like a news article, and I was like, oh.
At the same time though, I feel. Are you surprised?
No, of course not.
Are
Look
you
at
surprised?
us. No, it's Asian people are. We're right there.
We're
right there.
We got the we got the representation we wanted.
Yeah.
In Marvel, and then of course we're gonna have the representation, the other way. I mean, I feel there's so many Asian dudes who are in the Proud Boys.
Oh yeah.
All their IT support is, and the people running their finances.
Yeah, totally.
They're all named.
I know.
I don't know.
I don't know what their name. Probably
Kevin.
Yeah, I was gonna say Kevin or Andrew.
Andrew.
Yeah.
There's
and
a couple of Anushas in it.
Yeah, and they'll probably hack my account after this. Honestly, take it.
That's the other thing. when I kind of think of it as, you know, hey, Vietnamese people, a lot of us voted for Trump and are Trump people.
Right.
And when I think about it like that, I'm like, those are people who are like my cousins, maybe not literally, but like, you know, my relatives, friends, people in my community, and it makes it so that it's gonna sound weird, but they're not othered. They're just like people, and I know who they are, you know, and so it's not just like a scary nameless mob. It's not like it's not some, you know, Nazis in masks, right? It's like people I know, and therefore they're just people.
Yeah,
you know,
it's just, I think, massively uninformed.
Oh yeah,
or misinformed is probably the better way.
Misinformed. I think
instead of uninformed. I say misinformed.
I think that's so.
People.
So yeah,
and that's it's the reality of things. It's the reality we live in. But we've done it before, and we'll do it again.
And until then, we're going to be working on this Gen Z sitcom.
Oh boy!
Where
yeah.
a millennial pretends. I think
to
for
be
the
Gen
show,
Z.
it would have to be someone, because like I'm in my 40s.
Yeah.
And for me to pretend to be Gen Z would be hysterical.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I think you could do it. If Sutton Foster can do it, I think you could do it.
I mean, I don't think I think I look good, but I don't think I look young. I think, well, I don't know. Maybe throw me. Okay, let's see here.
I think you could do late 20s.
I think I could do late 20s. I think I have enough Carhartt jackets.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, what else? I don't know what maybe what the hair would be.
I know, hair's hard. It's got to be floppy.
I don't got the floppy hair.
Yeah, it's tough.
That's a tough one. Do you think you could? I think you could do it.
I think I'm young enough.
I mean, you're 180 years old.
Yeah, I'm 180, but I did get an audition for the first time in a while for early 20s.
Hey, really?
So it can happen still.
Did you go out for it?
I haven't even opened the email. I'm like, when am I even going to do this?
Well, we'll help you prep, dude.
Okay. Well, then we got to stop the episode so I can freaking read the casting call.
No cap, crashing out. No cap.
No cap. I'm crashing out right now. I'm going to be honest. I don't really fully know what crashing out is, but I do like to use it completely wrong. No cap. I'm absolutely crashing out right now. I think no cap is too old.
I think no cap is too old.
Yeah.
I actually like crashing out. I think it's a very apt phrase.
Yeah.
And I've refrained from using it because I don't want to be the person responsible for killing the phrase.
Yeah, right. I think I just did it right now in this episode.
I think we just did, by the way. Sorry about that, guys. Sorry. Okay. Well, anyways, don't you guys crash out.
No crash. Yeah.
Again, thank you very much for listening. Support the podcast. It's patreon.com/Asian9AsianPod. Or just honestly, tell your friends.
Yeah.
Spread the resistance, sweet. And keep your heads up. Until then, we love you.
Love you. Bye.
Bye.